regarding the Premier League table, and Aston Villa move up to 10th. They needed this as well. It's their first win in almost 6 weeks. They go above Southampton, Palace and Leicester. But for Everton, well, at this stage last season, they were 6th from top. They're now 5th from bottom. No Premier League win in 2022. Just one place and 3 points above Norwich. And it's stark, their slip. 17 points less than at this stage last season. Before we hear from Jermaine and Jolyon, let me just quickly let you know what else is coming your way. Well, what did you make of it then?
I thought actually Everton shown a lot of character and spirit in that second half. I thought in the first half they were quite frustrated. They held their formation quite a lot. Villa were much the better side. But in the second half, the chances, they had a couple of good chances. They created some decent moments, the corners, the pressure. There were some positives for Duncan Ferguson, I think, to take from that second half. But they just needed a bit more belief. But you have to give credit to that Villa side and how well they stood up strong and and got the win in the end.
I'll get your thoughts in just a second, but let's get some instant live reaction. Matty Cash is with Des. Des?
My head as well.
I got Emmy and Matty here as well. It was a toe-to-toe contest. Very satisfying to grab all the points, Matty.
Yeah, no, it was a tough game, to be fair. They threw everything forward in the last 15, 20 minutes, and we said before the game, like, we got to deal with the horrible part of the game. So we've done that really well and picked up 3 points. Massive thanks to this man.
Emmy, it was frantic out there, wasn't it? You didn't have any time on the ball, particularly in that first half.
No, we came here. We knew before the game, then changed our manager in this week. So difficult, tough away game, difficult atmosphere there. But I think we tried in the first half to do our game, and we play a little bit better in the first half, so we get 3 points.
Yeah, it was lacking a little bit of quality, I must say, because it was so hectic. But just before half-time, a lovely header. Was that from the training ground, that routine?
Yeah, we work a bit in the training ground with our set-piece coach. But I've seen some clips about them. I try to run forward, and when I see the ball, try to do the best.
I suppose, Matty, I have to ask you about the objects thrown from the crowd. It's a pretty serious.
No, crazy. It hit me straight in the head as well, to be honest. So, no, it's not nice having that, but 3 points, take that.
Absolutely, yeah. Hopefully they'll find the culprits. But as you said, the defence had to stand strong in that second half, didn't it?
Yeah, no, brilliant. Yeah, we worked on it as a back four, and obviously the whole team included as well. But especially for the back four, we need to be solid when we're winning games, and yeah, fantastic result away from home.
Yeah, they changed things as well, didn't they, in the second half? They threw everything at it.
Yeah, well, I think when you're losing 1-0, you always do. I think it's just natural, and they got players up front that can leap really well. So, we were brilliant today, so well done.
I mean, it's important to win these games, the ugly games, grind them out.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, these type of games give more confidence than normal. We need it's an important 3 games for us. So we're still climbing on the table. So now we go for a little break in a good position.
A little break? No, Stephen Gerrard will have you working hard.
Yeah,
you know that.
Let's see now.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, well played, gentlemen. Look, it was a moment of quality that won the game, but actually it was that spirit digging in against Everton in the second half that saw them home.
Yeah, definitely. A real satisfying performance defensively for Aston Villa. It's a tough place to come when it has been previous years. So, well fought, well earned, and as a defender, clean sheet, you've done your job.
Do they feel good, those ones?
Yeah, they're the satisfying ones. 1-0 away from home, especially at a place like this, is key.
Very nice. OK, well, we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look back at what we've seen here today, and we'll reflect on where Everton go from here. There was fight, there was spirit, there was heart, there was desire, but that will not keep you in the Premier League. To stay in this league, you need points. And it's that goal and that man that means all 3 head back to the Midlands with Aston Villa. No wonder he was delighted. Plenty more to come. So once again, Steven Gerrard comes and wins here at Goodison, but this is a fractured football club. A message towards Bill Kenwright beforehand, and these are shots that we've just recorded. Inside the ground, Kenwright and co, time to go. No communication, no plan, no vision, and a lot of this is aimed at Bill Kenwright and the rest of the board. And the frustration with the board seems to be that they're not listening to the fans, they're not communicating with the fans, although there was a statement from the owner, Farhad Moshiri, last night. And let's just be clear, the anger is not frustrated, it's not directed at the owner. I think they know that the millions that he's pumping in here are important. But clearly they want changes at board level. Bill Kenwright seems to be the one getting most of that flack.
Again, JJ was speaking before, that felt a little bit harsh to me. Again, Bill Kenwright was in control. He then felt he took the club as far as he could passed it over to someone that was willing to spend and develop the stadium and put money into players, and he still doesn't have the responsibility he had before. So I don't know why that is the attention's directed at him. I understand the frustration about the lack of clarity and communication between the fans and board, but in directing it towards ᴠᴏ Right, I'm a little bit confused.
I mean, they're still at the far end of the stadium. You can see them down there making plenty of noise, not wanting to leave. I suppose what they're saying, it's as much removing someone from the board as bringing someone in. They want football experience on the board. They want passion on the board. They want knowledge on the board. Not an easy thing to achieve, but they think that's going to make the difference at this football club.
Well, it is. I think that the conversation we was having at the top of this show was about putting structures in place and, you know, things and people in those positions to, I suppose, bring in better players, so the recruitment would be better, to have, I don't know, a style of play, to find a pattern in the club moving forward every single year. The frustration of the fans is, I suppose, it might be aimed at ᴠᴏ Right, but to them I think it's more to do with like a regime and a pattern of the way that things have been at Everton Football Club for a long period of time, and they're sick of it. And I personally think it's quite fair in terms of the Everton teams that I played against, and when I used to come to Goodison Park and play against Everton Football Club and what Everton Football Club represented to what I have seen for the last 10 years. It's chalk and cheese. And I know they've thrown a lot of money at the scenario. It's not been money well spent. And I just think that they are just frustrated now because, let's be honest, we sit and talk about certain clubs year in, year out on shows, on this show and on other shows, and it's the same story with Everton every single year. A new manager comes in.
False dawns,
players come in, and then they end up where they are now, fighting or, you know, flirting with a certain situation.
But I understand the frustration, the fans, I get it. But again, I think that comes back to the patience element of it from the people that are making the decisions in regards to spending the money out. The owners obviously putting the money in, which is okay, which is fine, and being great. But there needs to be, like JJ said, a structure and a clear vision, but also then a patience.
Patience from who? The fans?
The whole.
I mean, they've waited 20, as you know.
No, the fans. I'm not saying the fans need to wait. I'm saying that there's an owner, like, I think the transitions between different styles of managers, pumping it into the players and not waiting for, or a section of players that are not developing. I think you're trying to buy ready-made products from teams that are around you, which again doesn't always work. So I think there's an element from a business point of view that comes with patience, understanding that you're not guaranteed, regardless of how much you spend, it's not guaranteed.
And I also think some communication would be really helpful right now in regards to kind of a plan moving forward for Everton Football Club. And if that is, you know, because that's the only way you gain that patience is if you tell people what you're doing. And that is more than just we're building a really fancy brand new stadium. It's, you know, this is what we're trying to achieve. These are the people that we're going to be putting in place when we finally get them. I don't think Everton fans have had that. They've been just kind of sat there, just taking what they've got and been quietly kind of like, obviously unhappy at times, like they would be. But there needs to be some communication now to these fans as to what's going to be going on moving forward. Explain
as well the difficulties and the challenge of trying to build a board that's fit for this football club, or, you know, to do the things they need to do to get themselves where they want to get to. It is also worth pointing out that the fans cheered the team and supported Duncan Ferguson, supported the players for the full 90 minutes. They specifically made the point beforehand they didn't want to do any of this protesting during the game, before the game. They wanted to wait until after the 90 minutes. And listen, if you don't have passionate fans in football, what have you got? Not much, have you? So maybe the timing is right from their perspective, as the club have announced a root and branch review of all things football related here at Everton Football Club. And they do need to, because yet again, another defeat today, slipping down closer and closer to the bottom three. It was a moment of magic from ᴅᴏ.
Yeah, I'm sure they worked on it. He's probably going in that area to flick it on, but he's directed it towards goal. And again, there's not much Everton have done wrong. He's scoring from a ridiculous angle. And I think initially his movement was to keep it alive, but he's directed towards goal. It's a great finish.
Yeah, I mean, that position of ⴅᴏ宜is a really important one, and one of your jobs in that role is nobody gets in front of you type thing, but you also have to be very careful that you don't get dragged out too far, because then it goes over your head. So it's a really fine balance, and because ⴅᴏ has done it so quick, it's difficult for him, but it doesn't look like there's been any communication. It's not like Gomez is saying he's coming, get your arm out. It's just like...
There's obviously been no communication, and also then, when there is no communication, the responsibility is on the person that's marking him. For me, there it's Gomez, and the distance between the two when the contact's made is too far.
Yeah. Not nice, though, was it, seeing the bottle thrown from the Everton fans?
No, it's never nice, and we've battered on for the last 2 years about how we've enjoyed seeing fans back in the stadiums, but these kind of scenes are going to lead to them not being allowed in, and no one wants that. It's unfortunate that they've been hit, but this has been happening up and down the country, and it's not the only bottle or objects being thrown, so it needs to be addressed.
Yeah. There's loads of things we're trying to improve in football, aren't we? And trying to improve for the fans, whether it's kind of like safe standing areas and stuff like that. But all these types of incidents, I feel, just push that conversation a lot further back. So people need to start taking responsibility for themselves as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about a big positive from the Aston Villa perspective today. Matty Cash had a brilliant game.
He did. He's going to win it, but he's smart enough to know I've just got to have an impact on him, and that's why ᴅᴏᴛ doesn't get a free header. It was a top display from him.
Yeah, very much so, and I think he showed different elements, good positioning, great pace, strength and understanding, and it's not something we come to see from fullbacks nowadays. It's kind of the ugly side of the game as such, but it's great to see a defender enjoying defending.
OK, we're going to go live once again. The fans are making their voice heard in the stadium. Duncan Ferguson, though, is about to tell us his thoughts with Des. Des.
Thanks very much.
Pressure's off, you're behind, but I feel they created lots of opportunities to score. I just feel the types of opportunities fell to the wrong type of people in their team.
What about confidence? I mean, they've had one Premier League win since the 25th of September. That's a big job trying to rebuild that, isn't it?
I mean, the confidence is going to be obviously low. It is what it is. But, I think like what Julian said, I think the second half performance, that's what I wanted to see from Everton today. I just wanted to see get the place rocking, show some positivity, show you can create chances, and then the other stuff might come in the next couple of games. OK, well, they did create plenty of chances. In fact, they had 15 just in the second half alone, but Steven Gerrard's side held out, and he's now with Des as well. Des, back to you.
Stevie, we expected a proper scrap. We got one. You must be delighted to take that win.
Yeah, it's a big win for us, really important, and credit to the players. You know, it was a different style of game, especially in the second half. It was a case of us having to roll our sleeves up, stand up and be counted, really put our bodies on the line, because it's difficult to rehearse what came our way in the second half. It was direct, it was coming regular, so we had to fight and compete. We had to win second balls. And credit to the players, every single person stood up to that.
Yeah, the defence were doing very well. John McGinn was always in the thick of it. Matty Cash had a great game as well, didn't he?
And that's what we need. We need people that are prepared to put the body on the line. Listen, in football there's different ways to win. But one thing's certain, if you don't compete and you're not prepared for physical challenges, especially away at Goodison, you'll be found out. So to get a clean sheet on the back of what we faced second half. First half we played some really good stuff. I think we showed our style and we played tough first half. We maybe could have went in a little bit further in front. It's a fantastic header to put us in front from 꽞ᴏᴜ. Second half we expected Duncan to throw more petrol and flames on the fire, and that's what happened. It came our way, but we played big today, and I'm really proud of the players.
For a while it looked like the image from today's game would be that Jacob Ramsey ripped shirt, because it really was a tussle in that first half. But as you said, lovely goal from 괜ᴜ. Is that something you've been working on? Just Villa have been working on set pieces, full stop.
Yeah, listen, we have a guy Aston who works ever so hard with little Jose in the analyst, and we analyse teams, set pieces for and against. We know how important and how crucial they are. We've been done by a couple in the previous games, and I've been on them too. So today they've been big and delivered, but we still need the players to go out and carry it out, do the right movements, and to score a header of that quality at the Gladys Street end. I'm sure he'll be really proud of that one, and inevitably it's won as the game. And he'll get all the headlines, but this performance was about grit, it was about steel, and I asked the players to really commit to this game, because the game might ask us to do something that's quite alien, which is defend long balls constantly, and that's what we did.
Well done, it worked perfectly. Thanks very much, Steve.
Thanks, cheers, Des.
Yeah, he would have loved the grit and the determination factor, wouldn't he, in that second half, Stephen?
Look, I think from a managerial point of view, he's new at Villa, and with that, you get an opportunity in moments like this to see kind of the ones that are about it when it really matters. Yeah. And as you said, you can't rehearse what he did today. In training, every now and again, you have a dust-up and it gets a bit lively. But the reality is, when it's really on top and you're away from home and you've got the fans on top of you, you've just got to look each other in the eye and say, look, let's just stand strong type thing. And he's found out a lot about his players that he already knew, I think, today, is that he's got some real solid characters in that dressing room, and he's showing him that again today.
And he needed it. 1 win in 5 coming into this one. And look at these fixtures. The next 4 look all right. The next 5, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And with wins builds confidence. So going into these games, they'll have momentum and believe they can win. And that's the thing that Steven Gerrard's brought is belief. Villa are going into games now believing they can beat the opposition.
Wonderful, guys. Thank you very much for your company since 11:30 this morning. Very much enjoyed it. And as you can see, we still have the company of the Everton fans. They're making their voice heard. The question is, will there be change? How quickly will it come? Or what does the future look like for this football club? Right now, though, it's all about the rest of the football. Over to you at BT Sports Score. Have a good one, Daryl and Jeff.